Yo, what's up, guys? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and I have been not making videos for this past maybe the last 3 days after the election. So like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I took those days off. My mom was in town. The election stuff was happening. I was low on sleep. I got distracted. But I was still day trading, and we're going to do a little weekly recap here, and we're going to go through everything that happened. We are now sitting at Sunday, the day before Veterans Day, Monday. Tomorrow, I'm expecting markets to be excited. And here's why. I think that you have stuff going on in the world as the Trump win sinks in, as Bitcoin hits highs, and being that it is a bank holiday, I believe, but the markets are still open, you're going to have a lot of unregulated action, maybe some people taking the day off, maybe market makers taking the day off. I don't think it's a settlement day. This is the Bitcoin price chart. We have just over the last basically week. It's up, something like, let's see. It's up 15% in the last 5 days, so you're going to have a lot of stuff going on. And traders are going to be trying to get in, get out of the ETFs and of Bitcoin stocks, and basically betting on or against this. So that's why I'm expecting it to be crazy. Mixed with the maybe lighter volume in the overall market that we usually see on holidays. So meaning that prices are gonna jump a little bit further. The liquidity might be a little bit less. So keep that in mind. Keep your kind of risk tight. Keep your cards close to your chest. Play well. Which brings me to the next point. I am not your investment advisor. Please consult him or her for your investment advice. This is just purely entertainment purposes and a journal for myself. And day trading is risky. My results are not typical. Yada, yada, yada. So let's get up to some video recaps. I'm just going to go through. This week was, I came in pretty strong this week. A small adjustment that I did make. Actually don't really have any notes. I did make one mistake, which was Tuesday, which was the note was in the creep high to explode higher. I bought the high of the explosion, which is definitely something I am guilty of from time to time, but I've done a little bit better at not doing. Wednesday, I wrote a note, America is unchained. It's funny. There's a couple trades from the morning I think I'm going to look at. A trade from Thursday morning I'm going to look at. And then Friday, another decent sized day. But I did give back a little bit at the end of the day. I was up maybe like 950. I gave back what I made. I was like up 150, down 150 on DJT, which is Trump stock. And there's some stuff to look on over there. A couple of the notes from kind of my day-to-day 360 review was that honestly, I didn't feel like there was a lot of action out the gate, like in the gappers, but some stuff came on later on in the morning or just after the open. So there wasn't a lot of signaling. There wasn't a lot of signaling before the price action or before the market opened to the stocks that would actually go, but we still did have those pre-market rippers that ended up failing. That's what I kind of am remembering off the top of my head. I could have gotten that wrong. What are we at? Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, I was up around 28 140 this week. That's a decent number. Would like to make it more. But one of the things I did do, one of the adjustments to my game, is I adjusted the buttons that I use to change my size, and I just adjusted them a little bit bigger. It's been something I probably should have done for a long time. My skill level is my experience and skill level is a little bit higher than even the size I'm trading at now. I should be a little bit more aggressive in that. But I do have to be careful. There is some psychological pitfalls I have been known to fall into, which is getting emotional at the size. And if I can keep trading the same way at each size, I think the stocks that I do trade and the places I do take the trades will be able to support it, and therefore, and my profit loss is fine. I think I do have space to even size up, maybe even a little bit more into that. So looking at that in the weeks going forward, we're going to keep a close eye on that. But this last week, it showed that it was a good move. I also, on top of that, I did play more cautiously. I did play more reserved, but the tactical strikes I made were harder than maybe a slightly smaller size with a lot of hapless action, which is a good point to make. Also, another one is that I slept a little bit less this week. I usually have been really good this past maybe 5-6 months at being in bed by 9, up at 5, doing like a solid 8 hours type thing. And this kind of cycle, I did a little bit light. This kind of week, I did the election. I had not a lot of sleep. The couple days after that, my mom was still in town. I had okay sleep. I wasn't doing as good with the reviews, and there is something that I will say about maybe a mental fatigue component that sits in here, where like I do so much review that it costs my attention span later on, and I don't have as much fight to keep my attention in the morning at least. So that's all kind of subjective. I do actually think that net all the study is good. It's just sometimes it costs in the immediate days following. So maybe it needs to be moved around a little bit, moved earlier in the day, moved to something else, or truncated a little bit to where I can maintain that kind of fighting attention span, where I have the willpower almost to stay focused throughout the busy part of the morning, which is where I can make the most opportunities with the best accuracy, and also staying alert and like restrained as well, without kind of doing that like impulsive click in, just like taking good bets and being able to discern with all the information that come at me, and not being like mentally fatigued from that. So with all that being said, I'm gonna start with let's go back to front here. We got some videos here. This is late in the day on Monday or on Friday, and I'm off. I'm up about 9. I'm trying to get over $1,000, and I kind of just push it a little bit with FOXO. And honestly, part of it is me trying to push size here, trading 6,500 shares, and seeing if I can like maintain composure, maintain accuracy, and if the market supports it, which I felt that it kind of did. Let me see if I can get a trade here up. Did I take any trades? Oh, I actually just let this one go. This was not the best. We'll just watch this for a second here. Hmm. Damn. Right now, I'm thinking about where I would have got in, and I think I would have got in at 20 on that spike up higher, and it would be late, and I'd be looking for a place to unload here, and actually, honestly, not be feeling really good about it. Um, this does not look great. Like holding through this does not look fun. It's just a high risk, medium reward type of vibe. I wouldn't even say high reward. Maybe low reward, high risk, low reward there. The place to enter probably was down at 88 and like just above the 200 when that candle closed. And I think I would have been able to get out at a reasonable price. Whereas if I'm entering around here, what's the goal to get to one? Not sure if that happens. Not sure if I'm able to get it. Oh, okay. Do I? Yeah, I size down here. It does start pushing towards one. I think it actually does get to one at some point. No, actually it doesn't. Oh shit, this was it. Let's go. Let's go back to here. Yeah, this is where I gave back a good amount. Um, let's see. Hmm. So it's looking good to me. I still wanted to test low, but it's looking like okay. Let's say this 5 minute candle closes. I would be okay taking it for a trade up. As it starts descending here, it still looks okay to me. Like it still looks like it could be a good position to take for a shot to one after this candle closes, and I think that's what I'm waiting for. 15 seconds left on this, but wow, now that dip right there was too. Okay, here's how I would see it. I would think it's too late in this cycle of maybe 15 minutes for that violent of a move to happen, um, with how strong it was up here holding, and that. So I'm about to take a trade here, and that either it flips immediately and rockets, to like $1, and then it forces traders to choose, whether to buy or get out right there. So, but it would have to do it immediately, which is actually, I would say, given my experience, I'm thinking that'd be like a 30% chance on this type of dip that it does that, and that's why I take a position right here. It's holding. I see it's kind of holding. I'm like, all right. Boom, take a position. I'm actually green for a second. Sellers step in, but I'm like, does anyone buy it up? Does anyone want to buy it up? It's not really happening. And I'm going to cut it here in just a moment, although I hold a little bit too long there. Yeah, way too long. I could have cut it immediately for like a $30 loss. Instead, I take a $100 loss, and then I want to get back in, and I think I do get back in. But this progress lower is decisive. I mean, it's decisive like the Trump victory was decisive. Like this stuff is like, yo, we're going down. You had a chance to buy it back up. You didn't want to buy it back up. And the market's saying, time to get out. And this, I think, I'm pretty sure it halts down in a second here. I actually do really good, I think, by not trading that. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't trade it. Fantastic. All right, so it's just that one trade. I held on a little bit too long, which is okay in that context. It didn't. I was up a lot. I only lost like $100 on it, and it's okay. So that ends that video. It halts down. I think it keeps going lower after a halt. The halt open, and that's that one. Then we got the majority of the trading here. We're just going to check out one thing. No, we got a couple things to check out. So I'm going to go to the bathroom 2 seconds. All right, back at it. Here we have the open from Friday, and there is 932 great discipline and size on trade, and then to 45. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, DEVS. Is it this one? I'm looking at DEVS. See, this is kind of like you can't see the actual chart here, the entire move, but I'm thinking that this has the potential to rip to 2 and at least test 2. And so I'm just waiting here. I'm like, what's it going to do? It's not showing enough signals. It's kind of low. It looks like it's going down. And I just want it to fall apart a little bit and see how traders react. And so it's falling apart, but it's kind of holding. I take one stab at it. I cut it. I'm not liking it. I'm like, okay, let's see what else we have here. Maybe a dip lower here. Yeah, there we go. Keeps progressing. But wait, it's kind of holding. I don't like that big bidder. The market's going to try to get him into the game. So I'm patient. I'm watching, starting to realize that this probably isn't the stock to be trading. But I do think it has a little surprise left in store for short sellers. I don't think it's going to be that simple for them to get it to push lower and just directly die, especially after that sell-off. And boom, I'm in. Okay. And I actually double up on that. And I'm like, let's see what it does. See if we can get a little pop here. I take one block of shares off there, probably a little bit too early. I could have been a little bit more, being that I was in at 63. I could have kind of just, or 64. I could have kind of just like rode that, and it was at the beginning of the build, and I could have waited to here, and I would have been up probably closer to 1,000, maybe 1,200 on the day. All other things being the same, if I kind of just let it ride. Really good patience here. I even sized down my exit orders, and boom, and decided right there that I didn't like that action. It was going into a kind of like the open level. Unloaded some. That really should have been where I took my first block off at, not earlier than that. And then now it's up. Now I'm just down to basically flat on the position. And nicely traded. Nice $400 trade right there. And that created a nice base for the day. Wow. And so now I'm looking for my next entry. I think I do get another entry here. There is a lot of traders piling in here. This hesitation, I would have definitely cut everything else. It might still go to 2, but a lot of hesitation just hanging out here. Big bidders stepping in. I don't like that. I just sometimes they work. Other time, most of the time, I found those big bidders they just get reversed. It's it's not a reliable signal. It's probably about like 30-70 that they wow, and look how low that goes. And oh yeah, I get filled. I get filled on the bid. And I'm like, oof, this is a sketchy situation. I'm cutting it right there. Okay. Take a little bit of loss there, but it's okay. A little $50, whatever. And I get back in. It's an interesting spot to get back in. I don't think I would have done that again in retrospect, but it ends up working. This point, I'm thinking 75 for a target. Don't know if it'll give it to me. It's looking like it's not. I get out for like $1 or one penny. I'm like, this has to go again, but I want it to consolidate for just a second, cool its jets, see what it's looking like, see where I think all the traders are going to be at, and anticipate that. And now I start getting distracted, and this is kind of the part with like the open. It's just so much stuff ends up happening. You just really have to be focused. And I think I make a conscious choice. I'm like, well, I already made 4 on this. Let's just focus here. And now here, I'm like, okay, I like this. It looks just bad enough, not too bad. I'm gonna watch it test low here for a second. See if it wants to really unwind. But there's some potential to surprise a lot of people. A lot of traders can get off sides at this position now. And I'm going to try and anticipate that. Boom. I'm in there again at 71. Really good fill, actually. No slippage, and in fact, I get filled at the lows. Gives me a little motivation to hold just a little bit longer, especially since it's gone in my favor. I cut it right there. Now I'm up to 5. Yeah, so that was the bulk of the action. I think I take a couple more trades on here. Yep, up to 830, all on this DVS, kind of just like riding it around, taking kind of just nice little cuts here, nice little corners where I see there to be some inconsistencies in the action that I can exploit, and I move on. That kind of puts me up to where I finished on the day, and that's about it. There is some more action on DJT that I need to look at, which is 10-11. Okay. So DJT starts pumping out of and pumps into a halt. Really, really, really low volume for this name, I think. Well, actually, it's normal volume, I guess, for the last couple of days, but this 1 minute candle kind of just out of nowhere, maybe a short covered, it just halted it up. Like a big short, though. Which is fine. The open ends up being at 10:01:16. So in 15 seconds here, it's going to open up. And I'm going to start trying to trade it. It's a little bit scary because this thing is just like whipping up and down $1 at the open. I'm like, oh, where's that? It's kind of stacking a little bit too high. Wow, down to $1 right there. Someone got that dip nicely. And then I kind of distract myself so I don't make a dumb mistake. Or FLXL is moving, maybe that's what it was. I'm like, wow, it's still pushing high. What the? What the? Yeah. Apparently Trump had a tweet or something that he has no intention of selling. That can't be exactly said for all the short sellers that want to sell into it and all the long traders who are taking profit. That was a really good spot, that 29.5. Barover is still holding. Kudos. It's about $1 a share, or almost $2 a share. Where was that trade I took? I get a trade like right about. Interesting. Not the best position looking back. It was kind of like a creep into that, but it ended up working. Hmm. Small trade there. Getting actually really good fills on this. It's always a pleasure to get good fills on a stock. Um, Made me think I could trade a little bit bigger, but the volatility was very high, so I think 325 was an appropriate amount of shares. All right, that's about all I want to see of that. There's also another open, the GV open here at 957. Where are you at? Okay, so GV, I bring GV up here. I get it on the second halt up, and I see it on the second halt up. I think, yeah, because that doesn't look like it halted. So maybe the first halt. So this one opens in just a second here. See how it goes. I don't think I take any trades on it either. Maybe not till later, at least. Boom. Okay, yeah, it was really good example of a nice open there. A little dip rip action that I'm not great at, so I don't really trade, but it was a good example there. It hesitated, went back through the high. Like, let's see, one more time. Make high. So open, hesitate, make high, dip a little bit, make high again, go through high, and keep going, and then halt up again. Pin to the next hole level. That's the cycle of what happened there. And then that's going to be it for Friday. Going back to Thursday, I just want to watch the open. I had. I just put a calendar up and it's already falling off. Give me a second here. How would it do that? I think it's a humidity thing. I think when it dries out, it's harder for the stuff to stay on. Okay. Let's go. We're going to Thursday? 7. Oh. I don't know. Huh. I don't know if I actually had the open. I don't think I was watching it. Yeah, no. Probably not. Doesn't look like it. No. Yeah, okay, so in the open, I remember I took an L and then I made it right back immediately on that one. Could be Wednesday, though. Let's see if that happens. Wednesday. All right. So here we are. Coming 5 minutes before the open. DJT, of course, exploded overnight from the election news. Traders probably going to take profit there. DATS. DATS dipping down. I wonder if I take anything. Huh. DATS looking bad, bad, bad. Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't have anything. I think I might have woken up late or something. Or did not have anything queued up. I apparently wasn't interested in anything because these are all just sizes where I'm just flat and not really looking at it. Let's see where I get into it. There we go. Start loading a little bit of size into the hopper. Arab. So AREB, I don't have the chart for it. I think it's kind of coming out of nowhere at this point. Really nice fill there. Holy shit. This must have just started moving, yeah. Great fill. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you want to give me a good fill and just keep going? Let's see. See what you do. I'm watching this level 2 on the left-hand side, top area. Give him a chance here. I'm like, can it get to 75? Huh. Looks like 75 is coming. There it is. That's what we like to see. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I don't think I get exits high enough, though. Yeah, I take it out. I get filled at 67 and 68. So good fill, but the slippage was pretty annoying on the exit. Then what else do we have here? I think 10 o'clock, 10:13. 10:13 ARBB. ARBB. ABB. Team Q moving. Oh boy, I give back a lot. I give back all of that good AREB trade. And then 10:13, okay. ARBB starts to come into play here. Let's see how this moves here. I really want to see it. All right, so queued up. Looks like a double top on the 5 minute. I'm not expecting much, but it starts moving. And so it starts extending into VWAP. I'm just like, I don't want to get roasted here. I don't even think I'm looking at it now. I'm trading something else. Shit. Okay, so now it keeps creeping above VWAP, and I'm like, well, let's it's looking strong. I don't know. Boom, let's get in. I get in, get slippage, but it holds above where it got slipped to. I'm like, is it gonna pop higher? It's not looking good. That's a dangerous spot. I don't want to get flipped on. Ooh. Interesting spot. Interesting trade. I'm not sure about this one, but I keep holding it. I'm still kind of just chilling around break even ish. And gratefully, I get out there. Definitely gratefully. Could have stayed in, but that was like not the best trade. I probably shouldn't have got in so high. I think looking back, I thought it was good in the moment because I was successful on it, but it was very high risk for like about equal risk that I had to hold through, if not more. I got in at 90, got out at 93. I think it dipped down to 80 something there for a second, and I held through it. But it was just like the action was looking right. Would have been nice to allow it to move a little bit on its own and then get in, because I would have felt more confident about holding for the $1 point. But that was that trade. All right, 1018 ARBB, good to trade. Could have held longer. Okay, so let's see what happens. Get a nice little reversal here. What's going on? Always got to take in the bigger context here. You're like, okay, where do we have a potential level? Maybe here where it just tapped off of, and maybe here like maybe 111, 120. And then definitely up here at 125 is like a ceiling that is probably going to stop at if it gets that high. Oh, so now it's playing around the $1 level. It looks like it's holding. Looks like it's holding. I wasn't in the moment. I'm not in the moment now, and I'm not like getting all the information that I had before on how it traded and like the context and everything. So I can't tell exactly what I was thinking here. It does look like it does have potential, but it's being stopped at the moment. And I think it goes and dips lower. That's what I'm thinking right now. Like I think it dips lower, and I think that's where I take the trade. That looks like it looks like a pattern of a reversal here, or at least a test lower before going higher. And so, in my mind, the place to take a trade is on a little flush low. Waiting. Oh, keeps going lower. Maybe right there. Yeah, that would have been the place. I get in just slightly late, but not too late. And it's a sketchy place, but it goes in my favor. And I take it out. All right. Then it keeps going. Pops a whole 3 cents above where I thought it would be. We're going to have to... Now getting in here would be, I think, a little reckless, but, it would have rewarded you. Especially when you're in from such a low position, it can be hard to get back in after it creeps higher. And now getting in after this would not be the right move. That kind of like flash... The volume in there is going to have to reconcile with itself, as in like the people who bought or the people who sold are going to have to decide if that's really where they want to be. And compared to the rest of the price action, unless it's halting up here in a second, I don't think it is where you want to be positioned at. And so as you see there, it reverses, plays Plus, on the chart, it doesn't look like a fun place to be. Plus, on the 5-minute, this kind of candle stacking in. So I did okay not trading up there, but the kind of hold could have been a little bit better to that full expression. That's all. And that's all for my notes. Pretty good week, and looking forward to being restrained tomorrow morning. Restraint is going to be my main focus because it is going to be a little bit more volatile with Bitcoin going higher. I think everyone's going to be hungry, aggressive, and that mixed together again with the lack of containment from maybe some traditional market makers who don't trade on these days, or traders that are going to be out of town with lower volume will mean less liquidity, more whippy price action, while at the same time more aggressive traders who do make those trades, maybe using bigger size or whatnot, or feeling like they have to get in or out of like Bitcoin related assets. It's going to be a very, very interesting Monday with all this stuff going on, and of course with the election over with and a decisively market-friendly president who got elected. We will see what happens. Anyways, that's my review, my weekend wrap. Hope you guys have a great week. Again, this is not investment advice. Most day traders lose money. Day trading is very risky for your bank account. And trade in a simulator if you do decide to trade. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.